All right, we'll inspect this thoroughly. Spyglass it. All right, so he says, and I quote, "Warning, before purchasing the game, you will not have access to updated content or alpha builds of the game without paying for the $120 edition of the game." That is not right. You will have access to updated content fully. The updates are free for people that have already purchased the game. The only downside to not having the supporter edition is that you will not have access to them earlier than the public. That is it. See, the recent update for the January month was like very big. It was very big. It was huge. But I had the privilege of testing it before it came out because I was a supporter. But it still came out, and now other people can still play it. So that is false. Right now, the people who paid the $120 edition are playing on an updated build of the game with roughly twice as much content. That is false. The dev team has yet to detail when the peasants who paid $40 for the game will get updates. That is also false. They said it was in January. This information was not given during purchase of early access. I am not recommending the game to anyone based on this fact alone. That is just stupid. The $40 version is not for the peasants. It's just for the people that don't feel like they want to pay an extra price for just the fact of testing the updates before they come out. That's just big disinformation, yeah. Gameplay aside, I feel like the above warning is indicative enough to what the developers plans for this game. I hope that my warning can save someone's money if they're expecting to try out early access content in this early access game. The game is in early access. Technically, what I'm playing right now is the public build of the game. I'm technically playing the game in early access, so I'm testing out early access content. Is this guy okay? Sucks because the game isn't bad and it's fun to play with friends, as long as you all have the same edition of the game. You know, as a supporter, you have the choice of playing the early access, or just the regular full build. You don't just automatically... What? Okay. This makes it seem like these two versions cannot be played simultaneously. Like, as a supporter, I can access the alpha build of the game, but I don't need to. It's just very misinforming, yeah. This guy makes it seem like if you have the supporter edition, the only thing you can play on is the alpha build and nothing else. So the peasants that paid $40 cannot play with you. Inconceivable. No, you can still update your game to be in the public build and play simultaneously with your friends that have not paid the full price of the supporter edition. That's still possible. I do it all the time. It's just that you also have, in parallel to that, you have access to testing the content early. I don't know, man. This review kind of sucks so far. Currently, I cannot recommend the game due to the practices shown by Void Interactive. Monetization systems like this that are tacked on after purchase without any kind of choice to the consumer is an absolute farce, and the devs should be ashamed of this warped idea of early access truly is. Absolutely shameful. So this guy is like basically saying, I can't get early access to the content that is not out yet. The fact that you are paying $120 is not to have early access. It's so, I don't know, man. Also, he said, I'm reading through like diagonally here. He says, but also seem to be quite juvenile. This is a full-on fucking company. All right. No, he doesn't like that he can't access the early access or the alpha stage of the game. That's basically what this is. Whining. This is a whiny little bitch baby that's like, yeah, I can't. Like, so if I and one or more friends just buy the game, we can play it. Of course. Of course. The game is fully available to everyone that purchased the early access $40 version. I played it for days before even purchasing the, supporter edition, because I wanted to know if I wanted to actually, support this purchase, because basically what you're doing is, it's in the title. Supporter edition is to support the developers financially to developing the game further. It's not something that you need to pay for. It's an optional buy that also comes with it's like a Patreon, basically. It's like if you had a Kickstarter. Oh, you funded my Kickstarter? Oh, I'm going to give you early access to my game as a privilege for helping me out, That's basically what the supporter edition is. Probably had friends who bought it, the supporter edition, and didn't want to buy it himself. Seems pissed he didn't get to play the newest content with his friends. Well, sucks to be him. The newest content is out now on the full build of the game. So, Joke's on him. So you can also upgrade from standard edition to supporter edition. Exactly. And it'll also, you know, subtract the cost of the original base game to the supporter edition cost. So it won't cost the full price, obviously, because that would be kind of dumb. I upgraded and I paid the full price, or not the full price, but the reduced price, because I already had the base game. And so, you know, if you really, really like the game and you want to support the devs, I would suggest you buy the supporter edition. It's actually kind of cool to test out the newer content before everyone else. But the only thing is, if you do purchase the supporter edition, you cannot talk about the newest content that's being added to other people. That's all. That's about it. About standard edition and in Tarkov, and later upgraded to, yeah, exactly. It's basically the same system. If you are referencing that. So, reading the last line here just to make fun of him a little bit more, the devs have now released a statement doubling down on their predatory pricing of early access. They're standing firm that they will still be offering updates to only the private Discord server supporters, which has essentially created a class system within the game's community. $40 edition owners have been labeled as second-class supporters and are looked down upon by those in the private Discord. This dev team is not only extremely predatory, but also seem to be quite juvenile. Okay, so this is another opinion that I've seen floating around, is that, you know, if you bought the $40 game, you're a peasant. Now, obviously, I don't think that way. I think it's just, as a supporter myself, I think of myself just as a supporter of the game and its endeavors. I don't think there's anything wrong with not paying for the supporter edition. It's basically a financial situation, right? If you don't think it's worth it, then yeah, don't buy it. It's not, you know, required. It's fine if you don't buy it. I'm not gonna fucking, you know, degrade you because you didn't buy it. But I will say that I've seen how the community acts against people that are not the same as them or whatever, and the community seems quite toxic so far as I'm concerned. And I did make a video on this that I can show you guys, or link to if you guys want to watch it, because it is quite a good way to get introduced to why I think the community for this game is toxic. So this is the video right here that I made a few days ago, and it talks about how, you know, how surprised I was and taken aback I was about how toxic this community was. Dude, this guy's whining about him not being able to afford the supporter edition, and then he says, this company is quite deplorable, is super predatory, fuck you. Basically, he doesn't have the alpha access, and he's like whining about it, which is quite hilarious. No, I mean, that's basically it, right? He's like, you know, I don't have enough money to buy the early access, so I'm gonna whine about it and say that this game is not worth it. Yeah. I mean, isn't that what he's basically saying here? Like, just super dumb. But yeah, as I said, community quite weird. I would say the main Discord, like from what I've seen personal experience here, the community's fairly cool. Like it is definitely a cool community, especially the speedrunning community, which I am part of. Super nice people. 63rd here is in the speedrunning community. Super nice, you know. Warden has been a super nice person in my streams all the time. So, like, as I said, I feel like the community is quite cool. But then I found out on a YouTube video that they were hating about, like, on minorities. A lot of people were hating on minorities, and it's really fucked up. Like, they were saying, oh, well, if they're trans, they're not really people or something like that. Yeah, but it seems like this community has a way more of a bigger percentage that is still on those. And I don't want to overgeneralize, okay? In the video, my main point is, like, you shouldn't overgeneralize, obviously. But I feel like a lot of people that are buying this game are milsim guys that are in their mid-30s and that still think that people that are trans, people that are furries, people that are gay are not people. Like, that's just disgusting to me, honestly. And so when I saw that, like that slew of comments that were just shitting on trans people, I was like, hold on, what? You know? It kind of took me aback. I thought this community was quite clean so far. So I would recommend, like, not just watching my video on it and, like, getting informed yourself, because best information is the ones that you see yourself. firsthand, you know? Yeah, like I've seen toxicity. In Sea of Thieves, toxicity is through the roof, but it's like that little minority, right? There's like a little bit of, like a little tiny part of the community that's toxic, and mainly the community is fairly fine. But this community has been like immensely toxic so far. I don't know how this is possible. Like, and as I said, I don't want to overgeneralize by saying like, oh, mid-30s, oh, you're fucked. No, mid-30s people, I know some people in their mid-30s that are super chill people. And I want to drive the point home that everyone in their mid-30s is like a fucking ignorant piece of shit, you know what I mean? Some of them are, some of them aren't, as is every group of people that are in this world, you know? That's what I say. I drive the point home in my video. Like, I can say that at least one person in the furry community is an asshole, because there probably is one person in the furry community that is an asshole. But I can't just say all furries are assholes, because that's just fucked. That's just fucked. I don't know if furries are assholes. I haven't seen it firsthand. So how can I say that? You know? That's mainly what I'm talking about in that video. But yeah, going back on this little rant, this shit is that guy in Twitch chat, fucking stupid. Get him out of here. So I do recommend you inform yourself on the community and whatnot before like taking a side or whatever, because it might just be me. It might just be my experience in that YouTube video comment section. It might just be an isolated case. And that's what I'm trying to say here, is that, yeah, maybe I've had some bad experiences, but maybe you won't have any bad experiences whatsoever. So just stay informed, basically. Stay informed. And yeah. All right. Rant over. Let's play some games.